Hi there, this is Penny Manus Diefendorf with your Daily Grain. So, in today's Daily Grain, let's cover two things that are a cause for lots of ducking and diving in the world today. And they are blame and fault. So we all spend an inordinate amount of time trying to avoid being blamed for something or being pointed at as the person whose fault it is. And in the wider scheme of things, this can be healthy because no one wants an adverse finger pointing at them. However, in the wider scheme of things, whether it's a question of blame or fault, we cannot avoid the fact that in every situation there is someone who is responsible. There is someone who quite appropriately should be accountable. But if we are so absorbed with this concept of fault and blame and finger pointing and the awful specter of penalty and punishment to follow, not a lot gets done because everyone's trying to dodge a bullet, right? The point is, if we don't stand up and take responsibility for ourselves and take on accountability for our lives, pretty much nothing of note is going to happen. And all the effort that we spend ducking and diving and somehow trying to be seen as being the party in the right is effort that is wasted. It's effort that is better spent in taking responsibility and in being accountable. So today, just consider wiping those labels of blame and fault out of your life. At the end of the day, it is not a fault thing. It is not a blame thing. You know, mistakes happen. Errors happen. The thing is, can you learn from them? Can you try and make sure that they're not repeated? But if you are involved and engaged in trying to cover up that error or mistake or somehow avoid being held responsible for it, you won't investigate it. You won't take a look at it, and you won't fix it for future reference. That is actually the very real downside of this whole not blaming, not finding fault environment that is in the world at large. So forget that. Don't consider things that are going wrong as an opportunity to jump on someone or jump on yourself. Just consider it as the opportunity to right a wrong, to correct the situation. And if you can do that, if you can relabel blame and fault with responsibility and accountability, and these are good and necessary things to have in life, life becomes an adventure. You can actually experiment without the fear of getting slammed with these awful labels and experience life, test yourself, and be gentle with yourself, because at the end of the day, it's neither your blame or your fault, but you take responsibility and you are accountable for your actions. And if you can do that, you will start being more careful with what you do because you own it. You understand that ultimately the buck stops with you. And in fact, in your life, the buck does stop with you. So acknowledge it and run with it.